Now this next one is going to be difficult for people to take in, especially the mandem. What? Oh, what's going on? It's your boy Nate Be Lit. Nate really does be lit. And today we're doing a bit of a different video today. We're going to go on a walk and talk. The purpose of this video is to basically have a chat with you and break down some of the things that I've learned on my journey of, I hate this word, but entrepreneurship thing, because, you know, I've been able to do quite a few things that, you know, some other people might look and say, wow, he's actually done some good shit, and I would like to learn, such as, you know, being able to leave my job, live life on my terms, learn how to trade and be self-sufficient, start a perfume company from scratch, turn it into a business that's sometimes revenuing 5-6k, do you know what I mean, like 5+ K months, which is pretty lit. Been able to travel quite a bit as well, you know, and again, live life on my terms. I had a daughter 3 years ago, and last year we went on like 6-7 trips. It was lit, you know. Got my daughter riding in a flipping Maybach at 2 years old, riding camels and stuff that I hadn't been able to do when I was younger, well, I was her age, because I was predominantly raised by my mum, you know. My dad was a bit of a naughty boy, so he was in jail for quite a bit of the time, do you see what I'm saying? So I want to share some stuff with you guys. So I'm going to share with you guys today 5 things that I've learned on my journey so far, and I hope this finds you well. I hope you actually take note of the things that I'm teaching you guys right now, or I'm taking you guys through right now, and make something with it, like make something of it, you know, because there's 2 types of people. You have the type of people that they hear something, it goes in one ear and out the other, and you got the other type of person that's like, they take it in. Do you get what I'm saying? So without any further ado anyway, let's get into it. First thing I learned on my journey so far is that start with what you've got, right? And what does that mean? Whatever you want to do, you have a goal in mind, and you know, this is what you say, this is what I want to do. Start with what you have right now. Don't think that you have to go and get so much stuff to even get prepared, because that's the journey that a lot of people make, and it's futile, man. Do you know what I'm saying? You guys are probably wondering how is this thing following me as I'm moving. I've got this AI gimbal thing from TikTok, so yeah. But yeah, like, start with what you've got. When I started my perfume company, I started with an Instagram with an Instagram post. That was it. Do you get what I'm saying? Because it was either and I had the money to start off, like, with some money, but it was like, it didn't make sense to me, you know. And this is the first time it really clicked for me, like, oh shit, okay, cool. Like, I can actually start with what I've got, rather than having to go out of my way to go and gather resources to then start, when I could just start. And as the saying goes, you know, the fastest way between 2 points is a straight line. So just go straight, start with what you've got. I'll give you the example of how I started my perfume company very quickly. You know, I started off with an Instagram account. And long story short, posted up saying, listen, I'm starting a perfume company and it's going to be lit in McVitie. I'll put the post up somewhere on here as well. And I started advertising. People started buying. And then with the money that people paid, I didn't have a product yet. I had my own products, because obviously I was using the product that I started to sell, right? But I didn't have product in bulk to sell. So I was like, long story short, let me just promote it, see how it goes. People started buying, and then I used that money that was paid from other people to go and get the products, and then to go and supply the demand. And over time, again, I used that same Instagram account to post up reviews of what other people were saying, you know, some funny stuff as well. For those of you guys that purchased from Majestic Essences when we first started, you remember that I'm like the meme king, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? I mean, that's what got a lot of traction, and a lot of, you know, people to actually start looking and saying, right, let me go and buy something from here. Do you know what I'm saying? So again, I say all that to say this: start with what you've got. And by the way, this list is going to be a mixture of business stuff, life stuff, and trading stuff as well. The next thing that I learned was to learn and stay learning, and pay for the education, that, you know, pay for the stuff that you're learning. Way too many times, bro, I've come across people, and I even was that people, you know, at a point where I'd want to learn, but I didn't want to pay. And the difference between the people that, not in all cases, but a lot of the time, the difference between the people that pay to learn and the people that don't pay is that the people that pay take it seriously, and the people that don't pay, a lot of the time, don't take it as seriously. Now, I'm generalizing. That doesn't mean every single time someone doesn't pay, they don't take it seriously. But in a lot of cases, especially for myself, I weren't paying as much attention until I paid. Do you get what I'm saying? So you need to be willing to pay for information and actually utilize the information. And I find, for me personally, and I'm sure you guys watching this will agree with this as well to an extent, but when I paid, I took it way more seriously. Do you get what I'm saying? I valued it because I put my money behind it. And my money, at the time when I started this whole game, was equated to my time. You know, this is why people think that things are expensive, because it's not about, the money is not money to a lot of people. It's stored time. Do you get what I'm saying? You know, if I take £100, for me, I might place a trade and make some good money, and I take £100 out of that and go and buy something. Whereas the person that might work to get their money, that's, I don't know, 6 hours of their time, for example. Do you get where I'm coming from? So pay, I know it's against our conditioning to pay, because a lot of the time we're going off of survival rather than thrival, right? But you have to do it, bro. Eventually you're gonna have to do it. Pay for proximity, pay to learn. The next thing that I learned was, and this is a trading based thing actually. Bro, I'm even gonna take my glasses off for this one. Understand this, right? Trading is more than just technicals. Do you understand that? No, do you really understand that though? Like, I know you're nodding your head probably, but do you really get that? Trading is way more than technicals. I have this conversation with people all the time, especially people that reach out to me because they want me to help them with their trading, right? Trading is way more than just technicals. If trading was just, to win in trading, if it was just required for you to understand technicals, then why isn't everybody fucking profitable? Have you ever wondered that? From what I found, the people that were the most profitable were people that focused on not just technicals. They focus on technicals. They might focus on fundamentals for some people. Some people go heavy on the psychology of things. Most people that are profitable do work on the psychology. That's something that I've found is a correlating thing between those people, right? I'm gonna try and find someone to sit down. But, you know, a lot of people, they journal their trades and they spend so much time in their journal because they realize that is where most of their mistakes are going to be found, and not on the fucking technicals. You can extrapolate this out to life as well. Like, I found someone to sit, so maybe I can get this gimbal thing to stand up. Here we go. Boom. Boom. There we go. So yeah, the next thing is this, right? You have to understand, like, again, you can extrapolate this out. Most of life is not just one dimensional, you know? A lot of things in life that you're gonna succeed at anyway is multifaceted, you know? So you have to understand multiple things in order to get success in that one thing that you're trying to succeed at. Now this next one is gonna be difficult for people to take in, especially the mandem. Why? Because a lot of the time, man, especially if you're from London as well, like, we have this thing of like, we want to be so masculine. We want to be so, what's the word? I forget the word, but people want to be so overly masculine. They don't want to surrender. And that is the topic that I'm going to speak to you guys about now. Surrender. You have to learn to surrender eventually. I don't give a fuck what it is that you want to do, right? If you want to be the next, you know, big businessman, if you want to be, I don't know, you want to get great at trading, you want to be a dancer or whatever, you have to surrender. And what do I mean by surrender? Letting go of the fight. A lot of us, we try to mentally control the outcomes, and physically as well. But even when we realize we can't physically control outcomes, we try to mentally, we worry so much. That's what worrying is. You're trying to control, you're in your mind, you're trying to control the outcome. I can't lose this trade, or I can't, or what if my business, what if this guy doesn't buy? Or what if this doesn't happen? Or what if that doesn't happen? When in reality, a lot of the time, the best thing to do is to just surrender, bro. Understand that if something's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, bro. And you need to be okay with that. So many times, me in my personal life, I've tried to mentally control something, and it ends up falling apart anyway. And all of that time that I spent worrying and trying to make shit the way I want it to be, it all ended up not the way I wanted it to be anyway. Do you get what I'm saying? So, you know, you gotta surrender. Stop fighting so much. That doesn't mean stop taking action, you know? But you take action from a place of your being what you need to be in order to attain success. Let me give you an example, right? You want to be in great shape. Rather than trying to control the outcome and trying to get big as fast as you want to get, focus on the process. You got to lift your weights. You don't necessarily have to track your macros, but you have to eat enough to be in a calorie surplus, right? You have to make sure you're eating clean so that your body looks good when you actually get big, because a lot of the time, if you don't, you're going to be that fat big, if that makes sense. You know what I'm talking about. So, you know, there's so many different facets to it, like I mentioned earlier, you know, but you have to become that person that has a great body before you have the great body. A lot of people, they're focused so much on the good body, the good body, the good body, the good body, to the point where it's like they're worrying so much. Oh, how fast is it going to take? How long? You're fighting so much in your brain when you should just release, bro. Because if you be the person that you need to be in order to attain said body, and you focus down and you do the things that you're supposed to do from a place of being rather than trying to force outcomes, you're going to get there. And not only are you going to get there, but you're going to maintain it. And this is the thing that a lot of people don't understand. They don't surrender. So when they eventually, if they even get to the goal, they end up losing it because they're fighting so much to the point where, all right, you get there, you finish the fight, and it's like, all right, you let go eventually, and then you end up falling back, and then it's just a constant battle. Do you get what I'm saying? And a lot of the time, I understand why people do this, because there's two types of fuel. You have the type of person that's fueled by survival, which is they're trying to stop things from happening, bad things from happening, and you've got the person that is driven by thrival, which is they're not even trying to. They've surrendered, and now they've become the person that attains this thing. So now there's no need to fight anymore. So they're moving towards the place rather than trying to move away from what it is that they were trying to move away from. You know, if I'm a business person, you got the survival person that's trying to not lose all of your customers, or the person that's trying to not go broke, and you've got the person that's trying to, or being the person that attains that figure that the person's trying to attain, if that makes sense. These are just a couple of things I wanted to share with you guys. I think the last one, which is a little bonus one, is this, right? I know it's going to sound cliche, bro. Resilience will pay you more than anything else, bro. You can get knocked down as much as a man could be knocked down. The next day you get up, okay, dust yourself down, and you go again. It's the person that can do that every single day by not getting any, maybe they don't get the results they want for 5 years, 10 years, 20, I don't give a fuck how long it is, right? It's that person that they just remain true to the process, and they trust the process. They're not trying to fight anymore. They surrender, and they're just going along with the process. They be that person from within, you know? They become that person from within, and then it transfers into without your outside reality, should I put it like that. It's the person that can be resilient with that for as long as possible. That's the person that wins, bro. I hope that you guys have been able to get something from this. I'm gonna be posting more videos up like this as well. Let me know what sort of things you guys would like me to talk about as well. But I wanted to do this video because someone actually asked me, bro, like, if you could compile it was actually a good friend of mine that actually is gonna start working with me soon, that wants to be a student of mine and learn how to trade. But he asked me, like, bro, if you could compile all of the most important things that you've learned in your journey so far, what will be the pieces of advice that you'd give? And I broke it down, but then I wrote them down. I said, bro, I'm actually gonna make a video about this. So it's my guy James. Shout out to you, my guy. By the way, whilst I'm saying this as well, I want you guys to understand something. Just because I'm making this video and being able to attain all of these things that I mentioned earlier, that doesn't mean that I've got my whole life together. I'm still learning, but I'm a lot further towards my goal than what not even what I imagined, but what I thought I would have been at back when I started this whole journey when I was working at Tesco. So I thought, rather than me withhold this information, let me bestow this information onto someone else that might be where I was back in that time. Or maybe you're not where I was, maybe you're closer to your goal, but you need, some extra help with certain things. So I thought now was the right time to make this video. Let me know in the comments what the most important thing that you learned was, your biggest takeaway was from this as well, because it will help me know what sort of content to make moving forward. And yeah, man, I will continue to make those videos. So remember to keep your head on that bread, and I'll see you guys soon.